on me. My affirmation.
Hey, welcome back. All right, y'all, welcome back. Long time no see. Okay, so let's go ahead and get prepped. I guess not prepped, but let me take the bonnet off. Let me be a little bit more presentable because this is the first time I've seen the gang in dang near 3-4 weeks now. It's been 3 weeks. 3 weeks, yeah, 3 weeks. Your girl went on a trip to Florida. Couldn't really, do too much then. Then after I went to Florida, I just got back from New York literally like 2-3 days ago. And I was still in Dallas because, Lord Jesus, Dallas traffic, yada yada, getting off the airplane. And I just made it home yesterday, and I just needed to empty the suitcase, decompress, all of that, yang, okay? But now, I guess it's time to play catch up, you guys. I'm not gonna lie, y'all probably not gonna get Real Housewives of Atlanta from me, part 2. I was gonna do part 2 reunion. I'm just starting with whatever is, inspiring me to speak the most right now. And right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, okay? Because that's something I watched last night. I'm catching up on stuff. And it gave me more than, honestly, the Real Housewives of Reunion part 2, because we already know what that's given. So, we're going to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. The new season has started. Maybe a new season, but it's same old, okay? I hope you guys missed me. I missed y'all. Let's go ahead and get back into everything. And if I'm coming back, when I upload this video, I have any new viewers, I just want to say, hey, how you doing? Appreciate you for tuning in, okay? New to the channel, what's up? And let's get back into it, y'all. Let's get back into the routine of things. Your girl needs to become more consistent, get, uploading more. Now that I'm back home, I finally can sit my ass down and do that, But yeah, let's go ahead and get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. You already know what's up, all right? So, we open up the new season. We start with Tisha in the kitchen with her son. He got his wave cap on, looking just like Marceau. Okay, it's good to see that the son is alive. That Marceau ain't, unfortunately suffocated him off because he fed him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay, the son is still here. Matter of fact, he's 17. And he's, Tisha's talking to him about college, and she's like, oh yeah, you're gonna go to college with girls and stuff. And he was like, well, it's a good thing I don't go to college for girls. And she was kind of like, huh. Like, your daddy, like, I met your dad in college, so clearly that was on his mind. And so Marceau comes down and basically is talking to the son. You could definitely tell with Marceau's son when it comes to Marceau, and Maurice's son, Monster, when it comes to him, they have a very disconnected relationship emotionally. And that happens a lot of time. It was a lot of time, in particular in the Black household. And I did actually run across the Instagram post that talked about this, and just like how, this idea of like, fathers need to be in the household. But fathers being in the household still doesn't fix anything if you have a emotionally deficient father. And a lot of the times, Black men are emotionally deficient because they're not taught to handle their emotions, and so they're not going to handle their children with emotions, and yeah, you can really see it, and particularly a lot with Monster and Maurice. You can tell Monster listens to Maurice and that shit going one ear and out the other, like, you can just tell. But nonetheless, guess who's back? Guess who's back? Okay, Miss Wanda. Okay, I got a question. Miss Wanda is back, y'all. Okay, ever since Melody left, we got to figure out how we gonna keep the drama. All right, so Wanda is back because, not only is Melody gone, but also we had all that stuff that popped off with Martell and him doing that whack ass interview with one of the side chicks / go-go girls, one of the ladies of the night. Okay, that he was messing with. Him, Maurice, and Marceau allegedly, did a choo-choo on Yeah, there was a whole little interview. So now y'all know Wanda, she gonna come with the questions. And so she straight up asked Marcel, like, what's up? Like, what is Martell talking about? And you know, Marcel, he don't never want to answer a question straight. Well, did you see my response? And she was like, yeah, you ain't saying nothing. He's like, exactly, that's my response, nothing. She like, yeah, I don't want to hear all that. But who is that girl? You know that girl? Do you know her? Did you mess with her? Is Martell lying? And y'all know Marcel ain't finna give it no light. And Tisha kills me when she does this. Oh, you know, me and Marcel have our own way of communicating. And, you know, I know when it comes to all of these things, like, he's my protector. And he's proven that to me. And it's like, the lies you tell. What do you mean you're protector, girl? Have you been watching the past seasons? Because we've been watching that this man literally let internet slaughter you instead of answering questions straightforward. And not only that, when it comes to social media, just in general, answering questions straightforward. When the allegations would come, you know, to the front, he playing games. He want to play word games. And that puts you in a mindset of not being, you know, calm and protected and feeling, you know, solace in the answers that your husband gave you. Girl, we remember, for those of us who've been watching Love, Marriage Huntsville since season one, okay? Girl, talk about Marcel, he's my protector. Okay, girl, whatever you gotta say to convince yourself. All right, Bookie. So, moving on. We have Destiny and Martell. So, Destiny, you know what? I actually kind of liked the little cat suit that Destiny had on. I'm trying to think, what was her hair like? Was her hair curly? I think it was out. Nonetheless, the outfit was cute. I don't mind it, okay? I love a good leopard outfit and like co-ward, you know, type situation. So the fact that she committed and did the whole outfit leopard, I liked, okay? But yeah, nonetheless, Martell stopping by to see Destiny. Y'all, Destiny's getting back in the real estate game. I guess that's something that she's been doing. She's been in real estate, but she took a break, you know, to try to work on Madani. You know what? You like it, I love it. You want to make sure Madani works in some way, somehow. Go ahead, girl. You do you. But clearly it's not, you know, working all that well because she's hopped back into real estate. And I ain't mad at it. Do whatever you need to do, okay? So she's talking to, I guess, whatever broker that was in there. Martell shows up. She hands him a Madani candle because, okay, she wants to use however much promotion she can get. And she basically is sitting down, you know, checking in on Martell. How you doing? What's up? And he's like, you know, I'm good. You know, he's checking on, guess, whatever that last house or whatever house in construction he's doing now. He still ain't got his motherfucking builder's license. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. He does not have his license. We need to ask Martell because there ain't nobody asked in the last reunion. This next reunion, ask Martell if he has his builder's license, Carlos, okay? But we know that you love to be munching on the heterosexual man's ass. Because the way that he be letting these niggas slip through the cracks on these reunions, especially Martell, pitiful. But yeah, so she's talking to him, I guess, about, you know, being also a listing agent. She was like, oh yeah, cause you gonna put me on your house? Martell was like, right. It was an awkward silence. And he's like, well, you know, I kind of promised Chris, you know, Chris that house or whatever. And so she was like, I don't mind, you know, co-listing. He was like, oh, you? And she's like, nah. And so he's like, okay, you know, that's what's up, you know. Anytime I hear Martell say that's what's up, it makes me think of Why Did I Get Married? Where it's like, you know, Marcus is lying because he hit you with the, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what it's like. That's anytime Martell say that's what's up, that, you know, that's what's up, that's literally what I think of. But that nigga always lying through his mouth. Anytime Martell's mouth is open, I feel like that nigga lying. He's lying 80% of the time. His mouth is open. But so after that, you know, Martell gets Martell, y'all, Ariane, her name is finally not Bleeped. Her name is finally not Peasant. Her name is finally not the girl, that girl, Coleslaw. Like, her name is actually being said. Ariane, that other bitch. That other heifer, okay? You know, she's finally getting, you know, some acknowledgement, okay? But now Mel's gone, right? So Destiny brings up like, oh, you know, how everything will go with you, you know, your significant other. He's like, yeah, you know, Ariane's good, you know, I'm helping her get through nursing school. And she's like, oh, word? He's like, yeah. She's like, so this is good to see that you're like, you know, building with her. That's really nice, you know, investing in her. She's like, that's good or whatever. And he's like, yeah, you know, things are good. She's like, so what does that mean? He's like, you know, it means that if she keep doing what she doing, you know, might get a ring type thing. Ariane, don't let this man gas you up. You are never, listen to me, never getting a ring from that Negro. And if you get a ring from that man, it's because he was forced. Or you gave him an ultimatum, not because he wanted to, bitch. Trust and believe. But Destiny was like, yeah, you know, how did she put it? She was like, oh yeah, she was like, yeah, you know, it's just really nice to see you being a one-woman man, you know. And he was like, yeah, you know, Martell ain't just messing with Ariane. He was cheating on his wife that he had kids with Ariane. So you think he's finna have a side chick woman that he believes is a peasant? Cause trust and believe, he still thinks she a peasant. The only reason he's reneging on that is because he's with her, okay? So he's only reneging because he's with her now, calling her a peasant. But trust and believe, he still believe that shit, all right? So to think that Ariane is getting a loyal Martell, all right. Martell changed the subject. He's like, so, you know, what's up with you and Lance? You know, and she's like, ain't nothing over me and Lance. I mean, he messaged me like, hey, one time, like, the day before Thanksgiving, then the next day, this Negro posted a picture, he got a baby, okay? Shout out to Bernie Mac. Ding dong, baby, okay? He woke up and it was a baby. And so now Destiny's, we'll see later on in the season when they, you know, conversate and try to get that whole thing situated, because she ain't know about that, right? So she was like, well, you know, he just kind of posted it on social media. And she's like, I see you kind of, you know, been on social media with. He's like, nah, I ain't been on there. You know, I ain't. He's like, you know, I pop in and pop out. She was like, no, you don't. And he was like, shit, you know, I mean, only reason I said something because they said something. You know, that's always Martell's MO. Like, you know, my back's against the wall. You know, just don't say nothing about me. That's all I'm saying. Like, just don't lie on me. Just don't lie on me. And it's like, are they lying on you? Or are they saying stuff and then you feel like, well, since you're going to tell on me, I'm going to tell on you? Because that's what it's really been given since the beginning. It's really just been like, everybody's shit is going up. That's literally all it is. And so now Martell, not only is he still doing the same, playing the same game of like, I'm not going to be the only one whose house is burned down. Now it's, you know, I'm going to actually bring the woman to the front. Because at this point, everybody's exhausted with like oh, I know something. And it's like, nigga, if you know something, like spit it out already. Like, come to us with the proof. And so now it's like he finally got a woman that he did an interview with. And in that interview, Ariane was there. They talked about how they went to the casino and how she might have slept with both the brothers. Okay. All right. And, you know, the Martell's kind of feeling like justified in that. And Destiny, being the good friend that she is looking at Martell like, well, where is that getting you? Okay. And he was like, it made me feel good. And that's the problem right there. That's usually how people with very heavy narcissistic tendencies operate. It's not even about logistics or, you know, actually truly thinking about what's going to happen steps from now. All it is about satisfying their emotions in the moment. And so all Martell is worried about is feeling good. It made me feel good. Ha ha, I'm going after them. You know, and it's like, but even if the shit that you're telling is true, one, it don't get you nowhere. Two, it don't make Melody come back. It don't get you your family back. It don't unfuck the situation that you put up yourself, Martell. Like, you are doing all these things and it's truly actually getting you nowhere. Like, literally nowhere. It's all a distraction from the fact that you ain't got shit going on in your life, that you know you've effed up. And Destiny's like, look, you are trying to rebuild. Like, get back to being that man, you know, that wants to invest in the community, be a pillar of the community and stuff like that. Do you think this is going to help? And it's not. It's really not. People gonna see you doing this shit and not want to work with you. Like, period. But all Martell can ever think about is like, man, just don't say nothing about me, you know, continue to do what he doing, but shut up. Yeah, because if you say something, I'm always come back or whatever. And so Destiny's like, that's not gonna do nothing for you, my man, like, at all. And so she's like, can you shake on it? And he was like, like, I ain't shaking on nothing, like, because if he say some bullshit, trust and believe, I'm going to say some shit back. And it's just like, you're never going to learn. It's why you're literally stuck in the same goddamn situation that you in, because you're hard-headed, you have a lot of pride and ego, and you refuse to actually pay attention and put energy into your life, into your improvement, versus putting energy into tearing other people down. Okay? Sorry, y'all, if I kind of got dark right here. The sun decided to want to go hide behind the trees over there. So y'all just gonna have to see me like this. So moving on. Speaking of Lance and a baby, we go over to Nell and Chris's. And y'all, I love seeing Nell's freckles. She actually has a her face is very beautiful, like natural, and with her freckles. Like, I thought, and I loved the black hair on her, and I also loved the color of the hair that she wore while she was in the house when Martell came over. So Nell and obviously Chris are discussing having 2 new grandbabies. Lance, they was like, that's your 3rd one, we get it. But Chris, on the other hand, Chris is the youngest, and we all remember Chris last year was kind of struggling with his mental health. I think he even got like arrested. And so, you know, they were really trying to work on things with him. But now he done got this new baby, and Nell is seeing him show up to the daycare late. You know, she can see the look on his face, exhaustion, and she's feeling bad for him. But Chris is like, okay, but it's messing up with our me and you time. Like, how many dinner dates and reservations we done missed? And she's like, well, you know, that's because of being, you know, grandparents. And all Chris is thinking is like, right, but exactly, we grandparents, we're not the parents. So like, this, you know, I just messing with my 2-step. Okay, I'm trying to get to the club, get my 2-step on. And you niggas is fucking it up because you can't keep your dick in your pants. What? So, Chris lets Nell know that, you know, Martell's gonna come over. And she's feeling some type of way because the last time she saw Martell was at some type of, like, polo event. And that picture of her kind of, like, hugging Ariane went viral. And that was something that pissed Melody off because it's like, damn, like, I ain't got no friends. And then Nell, like, you are somebody that used to be like a mentor to me, and here you are, you know, hugging the ops. Like, you hugging op, bitch. No. And so Nell basically asked Martell, like, did you set that up? Martell talked about, no, I would never do nothing like that. You know, like, even if I did something like that, I would have told Chris. And it's like, y'all believe that? Y'all believe that? Because I don't. What are the chances? Really think of what are the chances that a picture is taken exactly when Nell and Ariane hug, and all the people who are at the polo event, like, them bitches is nobody, I'm sure, in comparison to who's at a polo event. So I just don't believe it. I think Martell is always on the lookout for how he can make opportunities to make other people look bad. And not only that, he's also looking for opportunities to kind of like make Ariane or show Ariane as being like a part of the group, or just kind of like trying to mesh her in with everybody. And I feel like that's what that was, you know, and also a part of pissing off Mel, you know. But he wouldn't sit there and act like no, he didn't, and then had a nerve. I think I deserve an apology. So Nell ass was like, for certain, in my house, all right, let me know right now. Did you do it? He said no. So she's like, I apologize or whatever. I'm sorry. Like, the way he even said it, like, I think I deserve an apology. Like, people like him who are always looking for ways to get an apology out of people because it like kind of feeds their ego a little bit, like making somebody kind of like lose a little battle, is like in their mind looking for people to apologize to you is like you getting like one-ups on people mentally. In their head they're like, yeah, that's right. And so that's what Martell was looking for out of Mel. And I don't know, I just feel like she got played in the situation. So then he asked them, talking about like, Lance got a baby? Lance had a baby on Destiny. They were like, nigga, go ask Lance. Like, don't ask us, ask Lance. He a grown-ass man. So from one grown-ass man to another, y'all know Maurice, he at the house with Kimmy, right? And Kimmy is talking with Monster. They're discussing, you know, colleges and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, you know, Ole Miss, Troy, da-da-da-da. And he's like, oh, so you want to mark your own path or whatever. He's like, yeah. And Kimmy's like, yeah, you know, college is going to be a thing. You know, I just want to make sure you're not getting distracted and understand, you know, you'll have to make decisions. You know, kids are going to be drinking, smoking, partying. And like, you're going to have to make decisions of being, you know, responsible. And Maurice was like, yeah, you know, speaking of, like, have you seen my DUI thing or whatever? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, what'd you see? He was like, you know, I didn't really read it, but like my friends, you know, showed me. He's like, well, what did your friends say? He was like, nothing. They were just kind of like laughing and joking about it. And he was like, oh, okay. He was like, well, did you see what happened when it got dismissed? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, well, yeah. And he was like, were your friends, what did they say after that? He was like, nothing really. He's like, yeah, that's how it always happens. Like, people always want to laugh and joke, but you know, anytime something is proven or, you know, or proven or just kind of like debunked, like nobody ever wants to pay attention to that. Maurice, I am starting to dislike Maurice more than I like Marceau, in a way of like, Maurice is like, he's a used car salesman, but in a different way than Marceau. Like, he just gives like politician used car salesman type, right? And it's like the word salad that he does, and it's the, you know, better than thou, like almost you can't catch me type, you know, energy that he has. And just because your shit got dismissed doesn't mean you weren't drunk. Doesn't mean the fact that when you got caught 12 p.m. in the middle of the day, where are you coming from? Like, that shit being dismissed ain't got nothing to do with like the questions behind everything, you know? And so Kimmy, here she is, you know, Chris wanted to take his little jab, talking about, oh, you know, making your side chick sign NDAs and stuff like that. And him saying that, you know, that sounds like something more like Maurice or Marceau would say. And so she asked, like, so you got any side chicks who signing NDAs? He's like, I ain't never had nobody sign no NDA. And Kimmy's like, answer that again. He was like, I've never had anybody sign an NDA. And she's like, do you really understand how wrong you're answering that? And she's like, your answer's supposed to be, there ain't no side chicks. And he was like, he's like, oh, like that's how I'm supposed to answer. And she's like, duh. Like, I mean, Kimmy know what's up. Kimmy know what's up. We know Kimmy knows what's up. And Kimmy know that we know that she know what's up. Like, that's why this shit is so impossible sometimes to watch. Because, like, people playing on my intelligence is a trigger to me. Alright? But I'm gonna move on because these bitches ain't finna ruin my day. So, last but not least, we have, but then with Maurice and the whole, like, DUI shit, that just really pissed me off. Because it's like, Negro, you got the DUI, but you're only getting it dismissed because at that point, you know, courts don't really care about this shit, you know? And at the time, you denied doing the little test or whatever. So, that wasn't the concern. The concern was where the fuck was you coming from, because Kimmy was at the house and she said that she called you. She thought you was gonna beat her to the house and you weren't there. So where the fuck was you at? Point blank period. So last but not least, y'all. Oh no, really quick, y'all. Ken Marquez talk. Nothing crazy. Y'all know they trying to at least, be copacetic with each other, especially after the reunion. And Marquez killed me because he's like, yeah, I'm just trying to get good with y'all. Obviously with Trisha, I know it's gonna take some time, but let's just start with the kids. Step a little play date or whatever, and hopefully maybe one day even we'll even do a vacation together or something. And it was a music in the background that kind of was like skirt. It made like an awkward sound. And it's kind of like, nigga, ain't nobody taking no vacation with you. One, like, two, this ain't no Martell Melody type stuff. Like, y'all's kids is grown. Your son is literally 19 years old. Like, the fuck? And then three, who paid for your ticket? Because, nigga, we know you ain't got the money. Marquez, we know you ain't got the money. So, are they supposed to cover your ticket and your airfare and your hotel? Because that's what it's giving. It's giving you on a free vacation out this bitch. So, Ken, he tells Trisha about it, but she not buying it. She is just like, I see ulterior motive. So, Trisha, in the last scene of the episode, she's at her house with her friend Sharon, that she's known for about 4 years, and basically just talking about the Marquez stuff. All of a sudden, Marquez come in, I think from he was with his daughter dropping her off or whatever. I'm gonna assume with the way that they cut it, the daughter walked in, he walked in after. Okay. And he walked in and the friend was like, well, shoes, since you here, I guess you here. Hello, I'm Sharon. He was like, whoa, like, I ain't gonna lie, Sharon's energy definitely came off a little strong, especially for a bitch I don't know. He was like, wait a minute, whoa, do I know you? Like, is there a problem? Like, do we need to talk? Like, she was like, no, I was just introducing myself. And so he was like, okay, like, it's kind of, your energy was a little off or whatever. And so Trisha's like, what are you doing or whatever? He's like, I'm coming to see my kids. And she's like, oh, really, seeing your kids? She's like, you've been here for 2 days. How'd you see him? She's like, did you get her? Did Xavier have to get her or whatever? Like, and she said that Ken told her that he moved down here. And she's like, how the fuck did that happen? Do I think Marquez moved back? I think whoever couch he's surfing on is for the moment of like when they filming or whatever, he hopped back to Huntsville. And then it's a thing of like, well, he here in Huntsville, he may be here for a week, but only seeing the kids 2 days. And so Trisha, I think, is feeling like, oh, don't be acting like you here to see the kids when you've been here for 2-3 days and you only seen them on one, type shit. Like, let's not, faking facade here. But in the midst of him talking to Sharon, shit starts getting a little elevated. And so Sharon's like, I ain't gotta, like, I don't have to talk to, like, how did she say it? She was like, well, you asked me. He was like, well, I was just, because, like, he's like, you the one who got the energy. I don't know what y'all was talking about or whatever. Like, I'm here for my kids. And so he's like, see, Trisha, like, this how you do. Because the son, he walk in, and now shit start going up in flames. And it's like, see, my son, see, God sent you. That's why I love you. God sent you here for me. He's like, Trisha, you should be ashamed of yourself. Look at how you doing the kids. She's like, oh, really? She's like, Xavier, how do I do y'all? Tell me how I do y'all. Like, when I tell you Trisha's energy is literally walking dynamite, you can see, I just see pain and anger behind Trisha. And she's working out to try to get it all out. But girl, you got to go to therapy to handle that stuff, because you could just see everything built up in her. And Marquez should not be triggering her still the way that he is. And it really was sad that the son is getting pulled into it. Oh, Xavier, tell me how I do y'all then. Tell me how I do it. And then here go Marquez, my see son, like, you my savior. And it's like, why is your son your savior? He 19 motherfucking years old. He gotta sit there and tell you, Dad, go outside. Like, take your ass outside. Like, he gotta literally tell you to go outside so we can go eat. Like, the son, you could tell, was over that bullshit. You could tell. He's like, I'm tired of it, boss. Get your ass outside, daddy, and wait for me in the car. Okay? And that's when the episode ended, you guys. So yeah, that's the first video back home. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all tell me what you feel about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Do you guys feel like Trisha, you know, needs to go to therapy to work on that shit with Marquez? Do you guys feel like Maurice, you know, case might have got dismissed, but still trying to figure out who bitch you was with, Maurice? Okay. Do you guys think Martell set that picture up with Ariane? Do y'all think he set it up? Because I personally think he did. I really do. Is there anything else? And how do you guys feel about Mel leaving? Do you think that Mel not being here this season is going to, you know, how heavily is it going to affect it? What y'all think is going to happen? Appreciate you for tuning in. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll catch y'all hoes in the next video.